Citizen Jones. What's crosstalk? Crosstalk is when two words collide. What do I mean? An argument, a subject matter is floated and two contending forces would have a go at that subject matter. Today, the question is, has the EFCC lost its bite? A side of the argument is saying, yes, it has. The other side is saying, it's no. So let's quickly go there. You know, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, was founded as a child of circumstance in 2003 by the Olusegun Obasanjo government to tackle the extreme graft and a regime of corruption that is still the enemy of progress in the country. Takeoff for the EFCC was great under the chairmanship of Nuhu Ribadu, a senior police officer. At least it secured some high-wire convictions and made many hair-raising arrests. But like everything Nigerian, the EFCC lost its steam, especially after Nuhu Ribadu was replaced. The anti-graft agency can be said to have lost its bite and yielded to the vagaries of the Nigerian system. The debate is intense, provoking the question of, is the EFCC relevant today? My combatants for today are ready for the debate, so let's bring them on. Opeoluwa Taiwo is here. He's a human resource expert and, of course, a public affairs analyst. Opeoluwa, I greet you. Welcome.
Good to be here today, sir.
All right. And then he's joined, well, the other world, so to speak, is occupied by Jimmy Abia, an attorney. He's a political commentator. Jimmy, I welcome you too.
My pleasure being with you.
So, gentlemen, is the EFCC still relevant to us in 2024?
Of course, who wouldn't say that there's need for fighting corruption? We definitely, the country needs an agency to fight corruption. That's not in doubt. However, should it be the EFCC? Has the EFCC actually acquitted itself well in that job? I do not think so, especially in recent times. What has happened is that you have the EFCC now focusing on things that do not matter and leaving the issues that really matter. You find a situation where political office holders leave office, there is no investigation. Even when there has been investigation, there is no prosecution. Even when there is prosecution, because the background work has not been done very well, you find a situation where the EFCC gets to court and bungles it. So I say it without equivocation that the EFCC has failed this country in the execution of its responsibilities, especially in recent times.
Okay, he's not speaking for you, or is it?
All right, so for the Economic and Financial Crime Commission, like you said earlier on, according to the Act of National Assembly of 12th December 2002, being the act that established the EFCC, and having the first pioneer chairman talking about Malam Nuhu Ribadu. But beyond that, as of today, we are talking about the capacity of EFCC. Their capacity has never been watered down. It doesn't matter whether a Western, Eastern, a Northern has been the chairman or will be the chairman. The capacity is what we are looking at. And their capacity is still stand up to now. And what do I mean? When we talk about the capacity of an EFCC, we are talking about their function. We are talking about their constitutional capacity. All right. Now, what is their constitutional right? And what is their duty as a body? Talking about their capacity to do what? To pursue every financial crime. Through what? Through coordination. Through enforcement. All right. No, the question is, has there been anything about coordinating financial crimes in Nigeria? The answer is yes. Has there been anything in terms of enforcement? The answer is yes. Are there be anything in terms of monitoring the capacity of each financial transaction? The answer is yes.
Okay, but Jimmy is telling you that even when the EFCC appears to have a prima facie case, a case it should win, it goes to court and bungles the case.
Now, that is always my challenge with the sentiment of working against the capacity of EFCC. What are the constitutional provisions in Nigeria Constitution? As of today, the foundation of our nation as a country is the Constitution. And that Constitution was a necessary gift, or was a necessary evil that was presented to us in form of a gift by the military leaders. So it was not the people that sat down and said that this is what we want. So when you give a people a gift, which they don't know the content, and the content is working against them, that doesn't mean that the gift is not good. It means that they are not part of what? The foundation of that gift. So the constitutional provision might be working against the EFCC. That doesn't mean that EFCC is not working in line with what is expected to be. So that is why that sentiment is coming up.
That's why it must lose cases you expect them to win.
It can lose the case that you expect to win.
So you are saying, in essence, that that EFCC is incompetent, and their incompetence, you are blaming the Constitution, you are blaming the law that set up the EFCC for their own incompetence.
That is a sentiment.
What you have agreed that EFCC has bungled. You have agreed that EFCC is incapacitated. You have agreed that EFCC has not been able to execute its functions. But you are looking for the fall guy. You are looking for what else to blame instead of the EFCC. And what I am saying clearly, without equivocation, is that the EFCC has thoroughly failed, has failed woefully.
I disagree with you.
I am saying it clearly
EFCC has not failed.
Because if you look at the governors who just left office, a lot of them with a lot of issues, that a lot of baggages, a lot of reports.
Now let's have a conversation. Let's have a conversation there. Let's have a conversation there.
Issues about diverted funds. But till today, EFCC has not prosecuted any of them.
Can we have a conversation?
All of them are working
Let's have a
freely.
conversation there.
That is it. We are having the conversation.
This is the conversation.
And the conversation
this is the real conversation.
EFCC has failed. I mean, you have to agree.
EFCC has not failed. I can't agree with you. This is the conversation.
Let's make it simple.
Let's make it
just
simple. Give me 1 minute.
The earlier you agree with me, the better for us.
I understand your sentiment.
Actually,
I understand your sentiment. Now, this is where I'm going. Who is EFCC? What is the background of EFCC? And another question is, who are the stakeholders that are meant to work with EFCC?
Should I answer just those questions?
Hold on. I'll get you right there. I have the answer at my fingertips. I was in the financial sector in the last 10 years. I understand that as a former commercial banker, I am part of the process. Whenever there is any transaction, do you know that the current chairman of APC is having an issue in the court now, talk against the EFCC, talking about the dollar and trying to put the dollar inside the cap and all the rest. Now, talking about the allegation and the litigations, because there's a difference between having allegation and litigations. Now, what happened? That particular transaction, what happened to that transaction? Whenever there is any financial crimes, or there's going to be any financial crimes, two things are involved. Who are the stakeholders involved? Number one, we have the commercial banks, all right? Number two, we have the NFIU. Number three, we have the CBN. Number four, we have the EFCC. So you can see this chain of command that has to do with financial crimes in Nigeria. So every personal account holder is not expected to have a deposit of above 50 million in one transaction, all right? And every corporate account holder is not expected to have more than 100 million in one transaction. Whenever such transaction is taking place, as a banker, I am expected to have what we call red alert to the NFIU. The NFIU will bring up a red alert to what? To the CBN. And CBN will in turn do what? Cascade same to the EFCC. Now, if all of this process has not been done, who are you to blame the EFCC? That is my question. Who are you to blame the EFCC? Are you saying that EFCC should jump the gun?
Whose job
No.
is it to do?
Are you telling me that EFCC should jump the gun to go and enter the account And if EFCC should not be gone and enter into the account of individuals, you are the same people that will blame.
There are two things.
You are the same people that will sue EFCC.
No, there are two things.
So each of these stakeholders has not done their job appropriately, and you are blaming the EFCC. That's a sentiment that lacks local standing. I'm surprised that even you, as a legal, I'm surprised that you're a legal practitioner and you are speaking against something that is out legal standing.
Because I want it to work. And it is currently not.
They are working, whether you like it or not.
I want it to
it doesn't
work,
matter your sentiment. EFCC is working, and they are still working.
Let me make a point. You have admitted that the EFCC has not been able, and you said it is because, you have given the other reason. You said it's because of the constitution, the laws. You gave another reason now. You gave another one. You said it's because the reporting has not been done. May I remind you that EFCC is an investigation agency principally. So the EFCC is meant to have its ability to investigate all forms of financial crimes without even a report. So if you are saying that because people have not reported to the EFCC and that's why the EFCC has not done its job, then you are saying that EFCC has totally failed, because the major responsibility of the EFCC is investigation. And I am saying it clearly, unambiguously, that the EFCC has not been able to carry out its responsibility.
I totally disagree with you.
You see what they are doing today?
I totally disagree
with
you.
What the EFCC, because they have failed, what they now do is, in order to get the media attention and all that, they are chasing, one cross-dresser or the other around. Because EFCC has failed. You have governors who...
Jimmy, is the cross-dresser in question infringing upon the law?
There are, you see,
you can say that. You can say that he's not be able to answer that question adequately. So that means that EFCC is doing their work.
The important thing is that when you
What was the allegation? What was the allegation against Bobrisky? What was the allegation?
The important
no, what was the allegation?
No, I was the one who brought it up.
I know. What was the allegation? What was the
one who
answer my question. What was the allegation?
Allow me to tell you why.
What was the allegation?
Allow me to tell you why that is a waste of resources.
No, I disagree with you.
I am going to tell you why EFCC has governors who embezzled, who diverted billions of naira, millions of dollars.
Jimmy, but
through what process? They diverted millions of naira. Through what process? No, through what process? How did they divert the billions?
Hold on. Jimmy, but it is on record that one or two former governors had been to jail.
Good.
That was
good. Now you're talking. Good. Now you're talking. It doesn't matter. I'm still the same EFCC. So I'm standing at EFCC is doing their job adequately, constitutionally, and legally. It doesn't matter the sentiment.
I made an important point, and I think you missed it when I was starting. I said that as at today, because you know, we when we model these things up, we won't know the time at which we are talking. I am saying that as at today, and I think that is the import of our message, our discussion today. As at today, how has EFCC performed? And I'm saying that as at today, EFCC has failed. Now, there were matters in the past that EFCC actually, in the past, EFCC had tried, especially during the days of Nuhu Ribadu, during the days of Waziri.
So you accepted that they have been trying. You accepted. Okay.
In the long past.
Thank you for coming to my table. Thank you for coming to my table.
Even Nigeria, there was a time that Nigeria worked. So that's not the point we are making.
Thank you for coming to my table.
Is to know whether as of today, EFCC is still performing.
Otherwise has lost its bite.
Yes.
They have not lost their bite. They have been working and they are still working. And they will continue to work as long as the constitution gave them backing to work. And don't forget, every constitutional provision for any section, for any office holder in Nigeria, there are limitations, including the office of president. Are you aware that Mr. President has the limitations? Are you aware? He has a limitation. All right? That is why you can understand
so
that.
So you have agreed that the limitations have made EFCC not to function. That means
where's the limitation coming from?
You have agreed that EFCC is not functioning.
No, that they have limitation doesn't mean they're not functioning. Our subject, our object of discussion. No, they've not failed.
No,
they have not failed. That is not my stand. No, listen to my stand. My stand is that they have been working and they are still working. But if they've not been, if to you believe they are not effective, I will tell you why they have not been as strong as it should be.
Would you say the current chairman of the EFCC, who has been an insider for years at the anti-graft agency, can go the whole hog?
No,
He has the capacity.
I don't even see him.
He has the capacity.
I don't even see him going the whole.
He has the
I
capacity.
don't
And
know.
he started on a good note. Even when he was appointed, he started on a good note. And what is the good note? You know, there's one challenge we have in Nigeria. And what is the challenge? When we talk about enforcement, the first thing that comes to the mind of an average Nigerian mind is what? Arrest, 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 arrest. Arrest is not the meaning of enforcement. So if EFCC has not been able to arrest the past 20 governors in Nigeria, doesn't mean they are not working.
Because arrest is part of enforcement.
So when it's part of it. No, I love that. Thank you for coming to my table.
Arrest is part of enforcement.
Thank you for coming to my table once again.
Part of that.
Arrest is part of the enforcement, but arrest is not the totality of the definition of enforcement. How come all of us, the argument about the being bite or not being bite about EFCC, I can tell you categorically speaking, it's all about you talking about what? Arrests. Okay, so if they have not arrested, doesn't mean that they are not working. Okay. So the new EFCC chairman has the capacity, and I believe so much in him, and he will give us results.
Yeah, just a minute. Gentlemen, it is on record that the embattled, well, a former governor of Delta State, James Onanefe Ibori, had as many charges? 140 something charges.
Yes, something like that.
Before he jumped the bill.
Leveled against him by the EFCC.
The EFCC.
But they couldn't nail him. Okay?
Are you saying they couldn't nail him or they couldn't arrest him? Where do you stand? Where do you belong?
They couldn't.
Where do you belong? Okay. So, but for Nigeria, you should understand that UK,
did he have sincere transaction?
The same transaction might not be sincere according to the law. Because as at now, it's still a litigation because he has been moving away from allegation to litigation. But now the question is, who is to be blamed? Are you blaming the gods? We are not supposed to be gathering here and crying more than the bereaved. Because the bereaved who are not supposed to cry more than the bereaved.
We shouldn't cry about our monies that
are you getting me now? The bereaved killed himself, and you're not. Who are you to be crying more than the bereaved? If you are crying more than the bereaved, it shows that you are part of the killing of the bereaved. You are not supposed to cry more than the bereaved.
Jimmy, let's begin to.
You are supposed to highlight who killed the bereaved. How come the bereaved is being bereaved instead of you crying more than the bereaved?
Okay, don't lose your cool. We must begin to coast home. Jimmy, is it possible in 60 seconds to wrap your thoughts here? You know, your
yeah, for sure. Because
so, has the EFCC lost its bite?
Totally. As I speak today, EFCC is just a toothless bulldog. EFCC, it can't even bark, let alone bite. You know, there's a condition in which we say that it can only bark, but it cannot bite. But as we are speaking, even if EFCC says we're going to arrest this former governor, the person will be in his house drinking tea because they know that EFCC will do nothing. And even if EFCC comes for an arrest, it's just a total, it will amount to nothing because after getting to the court, you will find that EFCC had nothing. So I am saying that EFCC has totally left its responsibility. EFCC has totally abdicated its duties. And as of today, what is needed is to unbundle that commission to probably have a new commission or maybe turn this commission around, find a way to get the top hierarchy of the EFCC out and bring new people, new heads that can, turn things around.
Right. Okay, how do you bury this now?
Yeah, for me, EFCC has been working, they are still working, and they will continue to bite. As of today, I have a case study of an arrest. And that arrest of a man who was involved in some financial shady deals. As of today, I can tell you that I know this man. He will never wish his enemy to be in the custody of EFCC, to be arrested or be invited by EFCC. So who are you to say that EFCC is not working? EFCC is working, and they will continue to work. But if you think they are not working, you try your best to do some financial shady deals in the next 1 month. Then you'll be rest assured that truly EFCC has come to stay, and they are still biting, and they will continue to bite. And if you think they're not biting, go ahead and do some fraud, and you have yourself to be blamed in the custody of EFCC.
All right. Let's apply the brakes here, but not before thanking Okweoluwa Taiwo. Many thanks for your time.
Good to be here today.
Barrister Jimmy Abia.
My pleasure.
I thank you. Yes, the debate continues wherever you might be. Has the EFCC lost its bite and, for that matter, its relevance? The one is suggesting that we, do away with the headship of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission and start afresh. The other is saying, no, the EFCC as it is constituted is doing a good job. We cannot wish for anything more than an EFCC that, like a Daniel, will come to judgment. I thank you now. Bye-bye now, until the next time.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.